In this video, we'll be talking about what you can learn from an average person. This is to all the overachievers out there. The people who work 20 hours a day, who hustle really hard and do all this stuff, and they're trying to be really productive. If they have a job, everything after their job is how to develop themselves even more. Maybe it means taking extra career related classes outside of work just to better themselves. Maybe it's to do things that most people wouldn't, to go above and beyond to achieve more, to increase that upward trajectory. Now, all you people, I'm sure, you guys are definitely doing a lot better than the average person because you're putting in all this stuff. But here's the thing. One, you burn yourselves out to death. Some of you are just so exhausted. I know a few multimillionaires, not personally, but recently it's come up quite often when you watch as many interviews and speeches as I do. You know, they get adrenal fatigue, they have all sorts of health issues because they burn themselves to the ground working hard. Second thing is, unfortunately, you can start not enjoying what you do as well. And then the third thing is you miss out a lot on life. I don't think this has to be the case. You know, unfortunately, there are certain entrepreneurs like Gary Vaynerchuk who their whole central message is hard work. And their whole point is you have to work 18-hour days. There's even a video on Inc. of Gary Vaynerchuk, and that's the whole title of the video. Gary says you should work 18 hours a day for your first few years. I think it's a interesting thing because sometimes it's overemphasized, and they think that this is all that's necessary to success. But I don't think that's true. I think there's plenty of people who could do a lot more just by working smarter. They could do a lot more by just persevering more rather than just, you know, flip-flopping from business to business, career to career, and not sticking with it, but still working themselves to death. I mean, there's so many examples of people who work 18 hours a day. Maybe your father is one of these people, and they worked 18, 20 hours a day at a job, and they tried so hard, but they were just, you know, they never got rich. Or how many people know someone who works that much every week and they never get to see their family? They're never home. I mean, that's a common thing. It's not some myth. It happens all the time. I see it all the time. There's books like Fiasco that talk about investment bankers and how this happens all the time. And there's a lot more to life than just killing yourself with work. I think to a certain crowd of people, it's a great message because they don't work hard enough. Maybe they have an 8-hour day and half of that time is spent just not doing much because 7 minutes of YouTube here turns into 20 minutes on Facebook here, and then just little increments add up over time. And if you don't believe me, I have written out every minute of my day for an entire, not entire year, for an entire day. I wrote out what I did for every minute of the day, and the results were shocking. I spent tons of hours just wasting time, and it didn't seem like a lot, but those minutes add up. So what's the point of this video? Basically, I've been just, you know, observing average people who just live average lives, in the sense that, you know, they're not making millions of dollars or anything like that. And these people, they're not like the overachievers. They don't care to be, or they're just not cognizant of their time. And they're not even aware how much time they waste. So it's just really interesting reading a few blogs from these people, just how they live their lives. They'll just be bored. I don't know what to do. I'm bored. I'm bored after my job. Maybe I should watch some Netflix. I don't know. Others, you know, they'll just be like, oh, this week I went to the strip club. The next week I went wine tasting. The next week I went to another restaurant and it was cool. And then the next week I bought some oysters at this beach, and that was really cool. It was pretty cheap, so I could still afford it, but there you go. And the next week, I'm probably going to go to the market. And it's just like from the personal development and success world, you look at that and you're like, this guy is not even aware that they're wasting the time. They're the type of people who are going to complain when they say, oh, I don't have time to be successful. It's like, do you know how much time you're wasting doing all these things? So arguably, in certain ways, you are better than them. But at the same time, I think I've learned something from them, because I think it's important to enjoy life. I think the ultimate level of time management and productivity is really being cognizant and aware of when you waste time and still voluntarily choosing to spend that time just having fun. I think the average person isn't really aware, even if they say they are. They really have no true level of understanding of how much time they waste. But then on a higher level, I think it's important to put weight into certain things, whether it's personal time, family time, friends, all those things. Make them a priority. And of course, ideally, maybe you can structure your lifestyle and your career so that your career isn't something you hate either. So the whole thing kind of works seamlessly together. So I just found it's an interesting thing. And in conclusion, just to wrap this whole thing up, there's just a few main points I want to get at. I think that hard work is definitely important, but I think there's many other elements that make up success. I think hard work alone is not the key. I mean, I can literally, for the next year, pick up a brick, put it over there, and then pick that brick up and put it back over here 100,000 times. Do you think I'll be a millionaire after I do that a million times? Probably not. I'll just maybe have burned some fat. That's cool. But there's this whole idea of working smarter as well. So you could be that guy who's the garbage collector, who has children, and you're working yourself to death 20 hours a week, maybe hoping to get promoted. Or you can start thinking smarter. Maybe I can network. Maybe I can get into something I enjoy more, that has more potential to increase my trajectory. I think the issue is that hard work is one of those things that's even the average person who doesn't care about self-development or anything, they know about. It's really overpopularized and way overdone. There's a ton of entrepreneurs and CEOs who I think that's all they know how to do, and they wonder why things aren't working out. All they can do is say that they've slept 3 hours the night before and brag about it. It's like, okay, the point is, the point isn't to brag about it. The point isn't to say you've done that. The point is the results. I think it's, if you could do it in 3 hours and get 12 hours of sleep, why won't you? I think unfortunately what's occurred is that, not always, but sometimes, it's been made into this thing, and I'm saying this because I've been caught up in it, even in school, where you believe into this thing, and then you just start doing it. And sometimes it doesn't help at all, but you're just doing it because either you want to look cool, but you're not getting results, or it's just, to do it because you think it works and everyone else tells you. So I'm not saying that hard work isn't important, but I do think that hard work is not the only thing, and it alone will not guarantee success. I definitely think that for a lot of people, if you can sleep and rest, sometimes it's counterintuitive, but if you can make your health a priority, you will do more work even if you have to cut the amount of time available to do the work. So keep in mind, this video is geared towards the overachievers who can and have put in those 60, 80, 100 hours a week. You know, for other people, this may not resonate the right way. But the point is, for those people, I think it's important because, yes, you have amped up one element to the max, but then you can only push that lever up to a certain point before you can't push it up anymore, and it starts affecting your health, your well-being, and everything else, and you start burning out and so forth. I think it's a huge, huge mistake to under prioritize your overall health and well-being, because that's really what's necessary as well. Your body, your health, that's really important for success. Thanks for watching.